Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Glory Hunters. I'm here with Glory Hunter Nick and myself. We haven't been around in a long time. I got my internet straightened out. I got my own career straightened out, and that gives me time to start working on Glory Hunters. And just to let you know, we will be doing a watch along tomorrow for Celtic Bayern. Champions League to kick things off. We're back. We got the winter graphics going on, and we got some stuff to talk about going forward. All the football and all the oddball stories out there, not just the Prem. But all, I guess, stories that we find interesting around the entire football landscape. It's good to hear from you, Nick. How you been?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Been a lot
Um,
of football since we were last on.
yeah, I know. The last time I think I broadcast on here was the MLS final. Which was heartbreaking for me. Watching a subpar season after a great start at and Forsberg and a subpar series season for Red Bull, for them to turn it around in the playoffs and run into the Galaxy when they put every piece together. But we're talking about MLS because MLS starts next week. Actually, this Saturday. We'll talk about it a little bit now. But the big story in football right now is FU and our F off. Do you want to explain the situation, Nick?
Right, so Jude Bellingham the other day was sent off for dissent to the referee.
Mm-hmm.
He supposedly says he said "fuck off."
Mm-hmm.
Referee reckons he said "fuck you," and apparently Bellingham seems to think saying "fuck off" wouldn't be enough to get sent off, but "fuck you" would. And so the debate is whether he said "fuck off" or "fuck you," and whether either should be a red card, right?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I don't think you should be abusing the ref. I think the bigger issue is we're looking at 12 games. Whether he said fuck you or fuck off, isn't 12 games a touch much?
Well, I can kind of get his point of view where it's like, oh, fuck off. It's like not.
It's not directed at.
It's not like an insult to
Yeah.
the ref sort of thing. It's just like a frustration thing where it's saying like, fuck you. That's like directed straight at the referee. So I kind of get that, but I mean, it's not going to be the referee's first language. So
Yeah, that's
why
true.
take the risk, right?
The referee probably heard the F-row. But, I mean, like, let me put this. I mean, this is just a ridiculous debate, and it's stupid. 12 games does seem a much, no matter. God, if they got in a fist fight, I think 12 games would be a little harsh. But, I mean, there also is, to entertain this stupidity, how about this? There's fuck off, and there's fuck off. There's that, too, and that's directed. So, we are getting into some semantic name-calling debate. How do you think this ends? What do you think this finishes up?
Well, Real Madrid are throwing like a hissy fit, aren't they? They're threatening to leave La Liga supposedly because of referee bias or something.
That's the only thing. I would be sticking up for Bellingham. Normally I'm going to stick up the players, but I got to be honest with you. Real Madrid, fuck off. Shut up. Who are you kidding? After the way you guys behaved when Rodri got the damn Ballon d'Or. I am sick to death of this club. They are the most obnoxious club in the entire planet, and I grew up rooting for the New York Yankees. I mean, they think they're above football. I mean, fuck off. I mean, really? Like you're nuts. Like, do you take that seriously at all? Because this is they're protesting for Vinny Jr. They're protesting because their guy doesn't win. Some guy gets a red card. One of their players gets a red card. It's literally the end of the world. I mean, the culture over there, this is why I'm a Barcelona fan if I had to pick one from the two. The culture over there is just elitist as hell.
Yeah, I wouldn't take it seriously. Like, let's be real. Real Madrid aren't leaving La Liga.
No, they're not.
We're never going to see Real Madrid in another league, right? Because logistically, it just doesn't make sense. And also, like, this is just tantrum throwing, right? We didn't get our way. What do you mean referee bias against Real Madrid?
Yeah, exactly.
This team that's been winning all these titles. You're telling me they managed to do all of this despite the fact all the referees hate them.
They have men in for them.
Everything against them. I guarantee you, if you ask Barca fans or like other fans in the league, they'd reckon refs were biased towards Real Madrid, right? This is just like throwing your toys out of the pram, like pathetic baby shit from them. It's like, you're obviously not going to leave La Liga. This is like the most pointless threat ever, right? Because realistically, that's never going to happen. So all you're doing is making yourself look ridiculous by turning around and saying, "Oh, we're going to leave La Liga because biased refs and the president is against us." No, you're not. No, they're not.
No,
Shut up.
yeah,
Right.
literally shut up. Like, do we both agree that 12 games is too much no matter what?
Is it actually 12
Yes,
games?
yes,
That
they're
does
talking
sound a
12.
lot if it
12
is.
matches. Jude Bellingham could face 12-match ban following his red card against the X-rated rant towards. See, that makes it sound like he said something
A lot
sexual.
worse than it was.
Yeah, X-rated rant towards referee Real Madrid. I got to be honest with you. Here's one thing. I think 12 matches is ridiculous. One or two, maybe. I do think the players get jab with the refs in all leagues, including the leagues I follow the most, German Third League and even MLS. I mean, I'm always telling these guys to shut up, shut up. You've never changed a referee's mind in the history of football or any other sport. Shut up. And I don't think the referee should be able to put up with that time of use, like fuck off or fuck you or anything else. But a 12 match ban, I mean, we're getting into like if he said something racist or something like that, which might be a little more understandable, depending on, I suppose, who you talk to. But I don't know. Or is Real Madrid doing this because they're throwing a fit now to get that 12? They know they're in the wrong. They're going to kind of like whittle away at that 12-match ban going forward by trying to like throw a fit. Maybe a 12-match ban turns into a 6, turns into a 3. You think that's the strategy here? I wouldn't put it past.
I don't think so, because I would be very, very, very shocked if it was a 12-match ban that they decide on. I think it would just be like a normal 2-game ban for a red card, as like just as most of them are, right? I think the 12-match ban is like the maximum possibility, but realistically, that's never going to happen. And so I think Real Madrid know that's never going to happen. So I don't think it's a tactic to try and go against something like that, because they know themselves La Liga is not going to give Bellingham that big of a ban.
No.
It'll just be a standard red card ban and he'll be done. I think this is them just throwing their toys out of the pram like they did with the Ballon d'Or.
Sure.
I don't know exactly what it is with La Liga, because the Ballon d'Or one made more sense in the fact that UEFA were sponsoring the Ballon d'Or, and obviously Real Madrid are one of the biggest supporters of the Super League, which would be a main competitor to UEFA's Champions League, right? So I can get the thinking they're going against UEFA for the Ballon d'Or, but I don't know what they're doing with La Liga, to be honest. There's got to be a reason, right, that they're doing this. It's not just them being petulant children.
Well, they've been petulant children in the past, so I mean, I think either one is a good guess. Are they trying to throw such a fit to get the amount of games down? I mean, I can accept if I'm wrong on that, or are they just, this is the way they behave? And we have seen them behave like that. They do behave like they're above football. They're the most unlikable, in my opinion, team on the planet. I don't know why anybody likes them. Like, it's just, I don't know. They're so establishment. They're so, I mean, even the name itself, Real, meaning royal. Like they're from kings and queens, and how dare you say this about the kings, man? You know, that's what it's got, that kind of vibe to it. But I don't know. Can we get a? I think we can get a look at the fuck off here. Let's see. Let me flip to this. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know. This is some subjective bullshit. So let's do our best voiceover here. I'm going to keep the sound down just so we don't. Oh, maybe not. I'm taking something. I don't know. He said fuck off. I'm pretty sure because he said fuck off. So what?
That wasn't a fuck you. That was a fuck off, right?
Yeah, but it's not his first language. It's like you say, he just heard fuck, and I know what that means, and you can't talk to me that way. That's more than likely what happened there. But I hope he doesn't get. Well, I'm not a huge fan of Jude Bellingham. It's just like this. There's something kind of phony about him. But I think I hope he doesn't get 12 matches. I don't think that's particularly fair. But really, Real Madrid, just fuck off. Here it is. Leaving, considering Jude Bellingham in a red card. No, sorry.
Maybe it's a play by Real Madrid to try and, I don't know, intimidate referees going forward, right?
Oh God, I could believe
maybe
that.
Referees are like, oh, maybe I don't want to give a red card in this situation because of the way they've
I have. Look, let me tell you something. I'm one of the few people on this planet that probably have the balls, only because I'm American and I'm not, I guess, afraid of going to jail for speech reasons. Thank you, JD Vance, by the way. No, I think they used the. I mean, some of the stuff that was happening to Vinny Jr. was unacceptable from the crowds, but they did omit the fact that he was taunting them. They did know that he goes up to ultras and then he cries like a baby when the ultras act like losers and low lifes that some of them tend to be. It wouldn't be. I felt like that whole thing with Vinny Jr. in some aspects, not every aspect, because some of them was legitimate. You can't be doing that. Otherwise, every park in all of Europe would turn into some racist crap. I don't think anybody wants to see that kind of stuff. But I did get the feeling they were trying to intimidate the referees because they weren't doing enough. Yeah. You know, what were they supposed to do? There's, that's up to the state, so to speak, to police speech and police bad behavior. It's not really up to the referees to police the fans. But no, it wouldn't surprise me one bit. I think that's a pretty good call. Neymar Jr. to Barcelona, rumors dampened by agent, even if the contract. I know he went to Santos. Well, you call this one. What's your view on this? He goes to Santos. It looks like he might go back to Barcelona. I don't know how he fits in there at his age, if much less he can get healthy. And he left Saudi Arabia, kind of stole money from them, if you ask me. I mean, he barely played.
I mean, yeah, if you want a masterclass in stealing money from a nation, Neymar Jr. has absolutely scammed the state of Saudi Arabia out of millions of dollars, right?
Yeah.
Turned up, didn't play, made like 300 million off of his crazy contract by the club owned by the Saudi Arabian state. So literally the country's paying him. And then he fucks off to Brazil. But
he did win a title, though. He did win a title against Ronaldo on the bench.
That's very true. He did. But I know he signed a short contract with Santos till the end of the season, with the idea that he would go back to Europe. And I think he's, at least to go off of his play at PSG at the end, he was still one of the best players in world football by the time he left PSG.
Sure.
So I could see him at Barcelona in the sense that he played there before. They like their big name players, especially under Laporta, and he might actually be a pretty effective player still when he's fit to be able to play for Barcelona. But the question is how much money he's going to be asking for. They're not in the best financial state. But if I'm Barcelona, I think I would take it. I don't think he'd be like a regular starter every week. Right?
Has Danny Olmo been registered yet?
Yeah. They managed to. They did a couple of things. I know there was like one player they fucking released from his contracts just to be able to get him in or something like that. So they just about did it with Olmo. They had to go to courts.
I know. That's pretty crazy. We missed that whole thing. We
who knows if they're actually going to be able to get him. But if I was Barcelona, I would take Neymar back as long as it's on a reasonable contract, because I think there is still a player there, potentially. So it's like, as long as you're not looking to him to be a first team starter, as long as it's like, this can be an addition, potentially he's still there, but if not, we're going to be okay, I would go for it.
Well, I think that I have to disagree with you. I think, considering the injuries throughout his career, he's been on the bench a lot more than a player of his caliber you're used to. It almost reminds me, although it's not as severe, of Brazilian Ronaldo. He's had that type of bad luck. I wonder how much a 33-year-old player, and I think it would be wishful thinking to think, even if you had a situation where he's kind of a closer, he's coming off in when they're down by a goal in the 75th minute, and this is the guy. I think that is very wishful thinking, considering he has barely played for 2 seasons now. To have him come back at his 33 is not a young soccer player. I mean, I know anybody's watching hockey is like, 33, you can still soccer. Your knees are shot by the time you're 29. I mean, I don't doubt the skill, but I'll be honest with you. I think it would be better for him to make the MLS move. I think the competition's rough there. I don't know if he can handle himself at that level at Barcelona. And how bad do they need him, in your opinion, Barcelona?
I don't think they're like desperate for a Neymar, sure, but I think the player is still there to be a difference maker, and I
Can
think
he
that
do
is
that?
what matters more. I genuinely believe, as long as
Right.
you're not relying on him week in, week out, you give him like the odd game here and there so that he like can stay fit and doesn't pick up a lot of injuries. I think he can be a genuine difference maker in some games, which could be the difference between winning the title or not. You see it there. You got the
Mm.
league up.
Yep.
They're 3 points off, 3 points. Sorry,
Mm.
3 points off of the top of the table. I think Neymar is enough of a difference maker in some games
Really?
still at this age
Okay.
that maybe he wins them a game or two more, which could be the
The
difference.
difference, I mean, look
And
at this really tight. I mean, all four top teams are in an absolute dogfight. I mean, I like Atletico and Barcelona gonna have to drop a couple games, but Athletic Balbo is not out of the running here by any
mm,
stretch. There's a lot of football to be played, and they have a longer season, if I'm not mistaken, too. So they're kind of at their midway point right now, if I'm not mistaken,
yeah.
right? Because they start a little later. So like yeah, they're 23 games in. Um, this is a very interesting scenario right here. This is they're getting a you're not getting that normal Barcelona Madrid. It's anybody's league, and I wouldn't mind seeing Atletico win one. I wouldn't. I love Anton Griezmann. I think he's a overlooked player here in Europe, but I don't know. I disagree. I don't know if he could be able to do it. I'm going by his track record in the past. I'm not rooting against him by any stretch. I can hope he can bring something. And if he does it for Barcelona, that's kind of my team in La Liga. So we'll see. But I don't know. 33. Oh God, that seems to be rough. This is one of the funniest things going. 3 La Liga matches, 3 MVP awards for Anthony. Incredible. After finally getting let go from United, he's had 3 great games. It is absolutely unbelievable. Everybody in Manchester United must be furious and angry with him. But we had a conversation offline. Is it possible the run and gun style of the Prem does not suit him, and the ticky tacky, which is just a staple of Spanish football, basically going back to Johan Cruyff now, the guy who essentially invented it. Is this just a better fit from him? Is he a Dutchman? No, he played over at Ajax, right?
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
playing. He's Brazilian, but yeah, he
yeah,
played
he
for
played for
Ajax
Ajax. Yeah,
prior
so
to
he's
the
kind of
United.
grown up in that sort of mentality, I imagine. Is I think that yeah, am I off here? Is this is more of a slap in the face of because we know he's talented. He's not an untalented player. I don't think anybody said that. I mean, I guess if you hate him, but is this says more about the state of United than it says about Anthony the player? Or is this just a fluke?
Uh, I think yes and no. Because the thing is, right, he looked bright at Ajax. I didn't think he was ever the world beater that he was made out to be at Ajax. Like
Okay.
at the time, I would have said 85 million was expensive for
Hmm.
the player Anthony was, but he certainly had upside to him. He certainly had talent, right? He wasn't the player we saw at United, right? He was
Hmm.
clearly at United when he played. He was terrible.
No, awful.
I don't think anyone could deny it.
No.
Like there seems to be this thing when like, a player is terrible and then they go elsewhere and then they play well. Everyone sort of overlooks like, oh yeah, haha, stupid United for letting this guy go. When it's like everyone agreed, right? This guy
No,
was
no, I agree too. I saw him
absolutely
play.
terrible for United,
Yeah.
and yet he has looked very, very bright for Betis. So yeah, I think that does speak to United in a sense that like no one seems to be doing well at United apart from Ahmad at all, right? Or Bruno.
Mm.
So United definitely drags you down, and yeah, I think there probably is a part of that where it is the league difference.
Mm.
It's like you said, we were talking before offline. The Premier League is so much faster. You do not have time on the
No, it
ball in the
isn't.
Premier League. You don't get given space. That is like the difference of the leagues. I know Ibrahimovic, when he was on Hot Ones, funnily enough, he was asked what is the difference between Spain, Italy, and England league-wise. He
Mm.
said like Italy's the most tactical league. The coach, like the tactics and the coaching is the highest that he's ever played in. In Spain, it's all about the technical ability. It's all about
Mhm.
the players who, with the ball at the feet, they've got the technical ability to make the passes and dribble. But the Premier League is just fast
Just
paced.
run.
It is just the second you get the ball, you have to be ready and going because you're going to have a player on you straight away. Someone's trying to get the ball off you as soon as you get that ball. And maybe a player like Anthony, he can't cope under that sort of situation. You know, he's not good enough in the sense that as soon as someone's on him, he can't do something. But in a league like La Liga, where maybe he has a few seconds before he has to do something, that gives him enough time to then really express himself and use his skills to then, you know, find a way around players, score these guys. Like, he scored a really good volley the other day, things like that. Like, yeah, man, I think it does come down to United suck, yes, but I think for me it's more the league difference, I think, is the case with Anthony. But yeah, United do suck, so it could just be that.
When I first started getting, because my first brushes with soccer was, you know, MLS and NASL when I was a kid. When I first moved to Europe and I started getting into European, because I was completely separated. I mean, John Hart's is the greatest soccer player in the world when I was a kid, like Tony Miola, you know. So I don't really have that connection to 80s and 90s. I mean, I knew who Beckham was, you know, in 80s and 90s football. But you know where I learned exactly what you're saying about the Prem was that movie Goal. And when the Mexican American kid that the story surrounds find he has asthma, and the Englishman walks up to me, "You better got to run when you're in England, mate." You know, and it's good. I remember, like, at that time, I just moved here when I saw that movie. I saw, you know, I'm watching the Bundesliga and I'm watching the Prem, right? And this would have been around 2005, 2006, and you see the difference. I mean, it's almost like watching ice hockey. You know, like it is. And there are skill sets out there that you don't have to be the fastest player on the pitch to be extremely effective. And maybe that skill set kind of is so heavy on him that in a league like that, he can't thrive, like you're saying. But he has still a first sort of world-class ability about him that just lends himself better. And that's too bad, because somebody as talented as him, it would have been nice for somebody like him to get to see that stuff in the Prem. But I don't like, I guess what I don't like what you're saying. I don't disagree with anything. I don't like seeing a player of his caliber, because I like to think the big four, not the big five, because I don't count Liga. That's a developmental league, all right? I don't like, it's a great developmental league, all right? I'll give you that. I know we've had arguments. It's a great, but it's a developmental league. I don't like to see that there's that much of a difference between the Bundesliga. There's mostly style differences. And I would confess that the quality of teams at the top of the Prem are much higher than Italy or Germany or that easier. But I don't like to think that he's that far off. You know what I mean? Because it makes him feel sort of minor league, and I don't think he's exactly that. I think it's just it doesn't suit him, rather than he's not a good an athlete. And that's my opinion.
Yeah. I think that is fair. Like, it could just be a stylistic difference, right?
I hope so.
Some players suit some styles.
And he can't function in that style. And he can't function in that type of coaching. And maybe this is the type of coaching that he's getting over there just feels. I mean, we've said it before about Mr. Maguire. I don't think he's a bad footballer. I know it's been the meme's kind of worn off in recent years, but like, I don't think he's a bad footballer. I think he's a great footballer. But I think it's a type of thing where he's not expected to be able to kind of brush the ball through the midfield with any kind of speed, But certainly he's got a wicked header. He's got a good nose for the ball, and he's a good defender too.
I think if Harry Maguire played in Italy, he would be considered.
He would destroy, and I think he would get a lot more goals too.
So because I think he's legitimately a good defender.
He's very. Not only that, he's really got a nose for the net on corners, man. He's a danger out there. You can't just count him out. I'm not saying he's not Van Dijk good by any stretch, but if you don't pay attention to him, he'll find it. He can score in a corner. He can score in a free kick. No problem if they're playing that high. The problem is if there's a transition and he gets caught in the back. That seems to be Harry's problem.
That's why I say Italy, right? You see a lot less of that in Italy.
Yeah.
So I think he was playing in Italy, I think Maguire
He'd,
would be
he'd be
so
dominating.
respected worldwide.
Absolutely. No, it's too bad.
Honestly,
Old slab head. How do I say his name? Camizo? One of the few guys I play.
Casemiro.
Casamizo. I respect United and very grateful. I have a year and a half left in my contract. I like to fill at Manchester. I'm comfortable here. I'm happy with my family. I've adapted. We speak English. Um, he's one of the few likable players over there. Why do you think he wants to stay in United? Is it because he can't go anything else, or does he really mean what he's saying? He likes Manchester.
I think it's a man holding on to staying at the top.
Oh, really?
He sees United as a big club, and I think if he leaves United, it will be to Saudi Arabia or the MLS or somewhere lesser. I don't think there's a big club in the world that'll take Casemiro at this point in time.
Financially, maybe are they a big club anymore? They haven't been a big club since the
I
Americans
think
bought them.
they suck, right? On the
Yeah.
pitch, no, not at all. They haven't been for over a decade now, but United still carries that name, right?
No,
So
sure.
I suppose it's still seen as it, even though
Sure.
they're not. Like, you'll still get players go to United because it's Manchester United,
That's true. It's like
rather
that.
than
It's
what they're actually like on the pitch.
It's like that scene we mentioned it before in Catch Me If You Can. They asked, why do the Yankees always win? Because the other team's always staring at those pinstripes. And I think that's you see that badge, you see that color, you see George Best, you see Beckham, and you see all the other great players that played there over the years. It is a powerhouse, but I mean, it's just, they have won some trophies in the last 2 years. They're just not. They don't scare me.
They don't win the league, no. But
No.
there is also that fact that because it's such a big club with so much money and
Always can come back.
status, that they could always be making a European spot next year. They make a couple of good signings. Amorim gets things going. All of a sudden, they're finishing in a European spot next year, and they're back in European football. And then they're back to being the same United that's not good enough to win the league, but they're still United, right?
I always wonder.
I think is maybe that thinking there with Casemiro is like, yeah, things are going terribly now, but it's still United. There's still the chance that we could be back in Europe next year. Whereas if he leaves, it's not going to be to a European playing team unless it's like Olympiacos or Fenerbahce, right? Not one of the ones that are going to be doing anything in those competitions.
Here's the thing. Another thing about United that I find interesting. It's like wanted to talk. Oh, I kind of lost my train of thought. I apologize. Yeah, let's just skip it because I forgot. I had something really good to say. So that's why I interrupt people all the time because I got to stay on it. Real quick conversation. Record-breaking day. The Dublin Derby, which Bohemia actually won, considering that Shamrock Rovers in the final. I mean, look at this crowd. This is really unbelievable. Is there anything that Irish football could be doing to kind? I mean, it's such a tiny country, and they do every so often spawn, a great player, a Roy Keane, a Robbie Keane. Is there anything they could be doing? Because there is so much passion in this country about this sport. I mean, they have their own sort of, they have GA and they have and hurling or everything, but most. If you talk to most Irish, he says, don't let it fool you. It's football's the number one sport in Ireland. Is there anything they'd be doing? Because I mean, they have sort of a Rangers Celtic problem. The two Dublin teams are about it. Is there anything they could be doing to promote the game, or is it just they're kind of just locked because they're in Ireland? It's a poor country.
Well, as you pointed out, right, they've had some top players over the years like Robbie Keane and Roy Keane. So what they probably could do is start scouring the country for Keanes and find the next one.
But I like to see this. I mean, I like to see this. I like to see Irish football make a blast on the scene, and of course we have this huge win in this is the third European league. What is it called?
This one wasn't the Conference League. No, this is
this one. I apologize. This was conference. We're moving on.
Rovers beat Mother in the conference.
Yeah, we're moving on to. I mean, who would have thought this? I mean, Rovers had to qualify, if I'm not mistaken, right? You have to win the league and qualify on top of it. Yeah, so they've been playing nonstop since all summer. Like this is a huge victory. Is there any Who's this team that they beat? I wish I could have watched this game. Oh, they
Moldova,
were Norwegian.
Norwegian side.
And this is where Haaland comes from, as far as not the country, but the
Yeah,
team.
Haaland was there
Yeah.
very early in his career. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was
Mm.
coaching there before United took him.
Okay, but this team's in the middle of the table, Norway. So this is a team they potentially could. I'm
The
sure.
season hasn't started though.
Oh, okay. Oh no. So you're right. I'm sorry. I saw the zeros
Yeah.
right there. Can we go to last season? No. Yeah, let's go to last season if we can. Overview
If you
stats.
click on Elite Serie and the league, it might take you there.
Just click on what?
Click the league name, the Elite Serie. It says at the top above Bodo Glimt.
You're speaking languages.
Down.
I don't. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
There.
Let's
And
see.
then
Let's
maybe
go
you can
to
find
let's
last
go
season from there.
2024.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. They had to qualify. They had to qualify too. So this is potentially a team they could beat, but it's still a good victory nonetheless. I'd like to see Shamrock Rovers.
I'll say at this stage for Shamrock Rovers, whoever you beat is going to be.
Yeah, this is
right?
Yeah, this is championship year. I mean, they might not have another season like this for another 10, 15 years or anything like that. Who are they playing next? I'm slightly interested on who the Rovers have in mind. Okay, conference. Oh no, wait a minute. They got another.
You're looking at
no, wrong way. I was going to say
Sure.
they got another game against them. Let's go Rovers. Rovers. Knockout head to head. Let's go the round of 32 here. We are in knockout stages. What do we got here? Well, that's the other. That's the Greek team that uses the Shamrock. That's very confusing. Bum 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 bum. Rovers. So they're only. This is only game one.
Confusing.
Yes, this is
layout.
Yeah, I know they have one. Okay, so on the 20th, which is in 3 days from now, they have a chance to move ahead. So they haven't quite moved ahead yet, and okay. So they got one more game, and then they could find themselves in the round of 16. Wow, fantastic. And then
That's
they could.
Really weird way to lay that out.
Yeah, it is bizarre.
So they'll play one of Legia Warsaw or Cercle Bruges.
Yeah, or potentially Chelsea if they get through them.
Oh yeah, after that game. To be fair, Chelsea already played them in the group stages and won 5-1. So
there you go.
Not sure if I back Shamrock Rovers to get through that round.
No, but you're pulling for them now. Okay, fair enough. I think we can agree on that. All right, the MLS kits are out. We're gonna go over each one of preliminary looks. I think the MLS have the best, most interesting jerseys. Usually, the rest of Europe kind of follows them. I think afterwards. This year, we're not impressed. Let's go over each one of them. I'm not. Let's just go on. All right. It seems like they're going for that 2006 German World Cup kind of look with those. Let's see. I don't have I don't know if I can. I need a mouse. I need a mouse cursor here. Can I show a mouse cursor? Yeah, no, that's you. Hang on a second. I want to get my mouse working in there so I can point to things.
I actually have that kit somewhere.
Oh, the Atlanta? You got Atlanta?
Oh no, the Germany one you're talking about.
Oh yeah, that's 2006 if I'm not mistaken. I can see Michael Ballack wear
2006. I've got a Klose one with it, with the little bits on the side.
Yeah, I got you. So I don't mind this jersey at all. It's a strong jersey. It reminds me of AC Milan. I don't got any kind of issues with that, but it's not much of a change from last year or anything. Nothing super interesting. Where are you on this kit?
Yeah, I think it's decent enough. It's an Atlanta one, so it's going to be red and black stripes. They're not going to change things up a bit. I think that's a decent enough one for their design, right?
Yeah, and considering they're so young in the league, they already got a star in that jersey. Luckily. Okay, now we go to Austin FC. I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. I think it's a problem this year. Like nothing jumps out at me and like, I gotta have that. Where I've seen like Seattle Sounders, like, I have to have that or something like that. I'm not seeing that right here. But it's good. There's nothing particularly wrong with it.
So I like it, but
I like it, but it's not like jumping out at me. Charlotte FC, I hate it. Absolutely hate it. Really? I hate the lines here. I hate the designs inside the designs. It's too dark. It's too black. What are you, DC United? I mean, no, don't like it. You?
I actually kind of like it.
Oh, do
I
you?
like the little design they've got on it. They
Euros.
don't show it off very well in that photo,
Plain
but it's
Jane.
got like one of those like designs that is like you can see up close. It
Yeah, I
does
know,
look
because we got
cool.
them in even my Bayhen jersey has one of them now. Chicago Fire is god awful. Um, I don't like it because I can't make it out. I can't make the. It's the badge. I like the badge because remember Chicago Fire had this thing where they had a fireman's badge, the original badge, and then they switched to something freaking terrible. The fans had a fit, and then they had it go back to look like sort of a fireman's badge again. But I can't see the colors in this badge. It's because it's the same kind of plain color as the blue. Because usually it's a red. Let's see. Let me show you a Chicago Fire badge. Um, they should never got rid of the original. To be perfectly honest with you. I'll show you this. I'll show you what. So I don't look totally crazy here. Where's my? Okay, hold on. 1, 2, 3. Where is Google? Don't have it. Just Google. Show you what I'm talking. Jesus, what the hell is going on here?
Go to
um,
map.
Chicago Fire. Okay, this is the current badge. So you don't have the red in there. So that's my problem. BAD badges. How about that? I'll show you the old ones. Images like the old crests and what have you. This was the original right here. This thing's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That looks like a fireman's suit. That's the whole thing. Chicago Fire, a tribute to the firemen and also a tribute to the firemen. And then they had this disgrace from 2019 to 2021, and this is disgraceful. I don't know what that is. It looks woke. I don't know if it looks woke or not, but it's terrible. At least they went to some kind of badge back there. And now on this uniform, it's the same color as the sort of navy blue. Don't like it. You?
Yeah, very mid. Doesn't
Below
excite
mid.
me at all.
Below mid. Below mid. Cincy, I hate them because this is developing rivalry with my team. I don't like it. I really like Cincy's colors. I don't like the change in blue at the bottom here. I think this sucks. I think they should. I think this thing's fine if they go with the same blue on top of the bottom. Not jumping out at me, but normally Cincinnati's got really nice stuff. I think. You?
Yeah, the orange, like the stripe feels out of place because it doesn't go across all the way, right? I don't like how it's just in that middle section.
I don't have well, they're always moving the orange around. I don't mind the orange.
Well, look, I wouldn't mind it if it was all the way around, but it's
Yeah.
just weird how it's just in the middle of the shirt. It just stays in the middle, right? You've just got a weird diagonal line in the middle.
Yeah.
So, not a fan, personally.
Not a fan. This might be the ugliest one right here. The Rapids. I mean, I don't even know. I guess they changed their badge this year too, with the Colorado. It looks like the old Colorado
Yeah,
Rockies.
I've seen that.
Yeah, this looks like my kid got a hold of a finger paint or something. I don't like it.
What is the design meant to be? Does it say?
Looks woke. I don't know.
Like I don't really know what the hell that is, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like some kid went berserk.
Some like shrubbery,
Yeah,
some like trees or something.
it's cold. I don't know. Lack of oxygen. It is Colorado. I don't like it at all. Oh God,
Yeah.
look, the Crew. There's another team who should never change their badge. Who's the Crew? Who I always like their. I mean, honestly, I like their. I'm one of the few people that like their original badge. You said they used to be a big thing on FIFA, right? To get
with the three
hard workmen. Yeah, because it was a tribute to the working class. This is a tribute to a clothes I would never wear. It's like everything looks kind of like thrown together, like perfect.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like it.
Do you?
Do you know what that really?
This one
like?
could grow on me, I suppose, but
that one really looks like a Borussia Dortmund kit. Like if that had a Dortmund badge on it, I wouldn't even question.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. So like I don't know, look like the Crew. Yeah, it looks like a Dortmund third jersey or something like that. Yeah, an alternative jersey. I don't like it. No, make your own thing. Oh Jesus, look at this mess. And they're going 9 out of 10 because it's ugly. Oh God, of course. This is I'm glad DC United looks ridiculous now. I think that's perfectly fine with me. I'm glad they don't win anymore. You see those 4 stars? It's when the league sucked. It was the '90s league. That's when they won all there with the greatest player of all time, John Harkes, who stole Eric Ronaldo's girlfriend and married her. And that's unacceptable. This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable.
Why?
DC because
Why do
it's
you think
not
that's
it's not the
unacceptable?
it's not DC United colors. In fact,
Yeah, but this is the away kit, isn't it?
no, well, it
Oh
could
no,
be.
that is the home kit.
Oh
Oh,
my
okay,
God, that's
interesting.
ridiculous. Like, and then Charlotte stole your jersey. No, don't like it. Unacceptable. Doesn't look like DC United. I don't know what they're trying to do here. I hate it, and I hope they lose every game. There you go. Dallas secondary. Just too plain Jane for me.
See, to me, that's just a boring version of the DC one.
Yeah.
I like that DC one.
I
think it's
why do
weird
you
as a
what do you
home
like
kit.
about these colors? They look like like
Oh, it's
1970s
funky,
wallpaper.
man. I
It's like
like
funky,
that.
exactly from the 70s. This is supposed to be 2025
Yeah.
soccer.
But
I
if
mean,
that was an away shirt, I can understand the criticism of that being the main shirt, right? That is not DC colors, sure. That shouldn't be the home kit. But if that was an away kit, I kind of like that. I think that's funky, it's creative, it's unique. But that Dallas one, that's just the basic pitch version.
this is grandma's wallpaper. What are you talking about, man?
Grandma's wallpaper is in, baby.
Come on, bro. Really?
I like that. That is cool.
I don't know.
That's unique. But that Dallas one is just the boring version.
I guess so. I don't know. DC. I don't know. I like the DC United black. When Wayne Rooney wore it, looked cool. So we're long past that. All right. I don't really have any. I don't have complaints about Houston. It's Houston colors. It's their tradition. They won 2 out the gate and they haven't done shit since. Although they're always kind of a danger in MLS. My only criticism, little too plain. That's all.
Yeah, I think it's solid. No
Solid,
complaint.
but yeah, like the same way I feel about it's kind of the same way I feel about Awesome. Pretty much the same way I feel about Awesome. Nothing going on here.
Yeah,
God.
yeah, very similar. Like, don't dislike it. It's fine.
Kansas City always has the ugliest stuff. This looks like my dad's sweater.
I just don't like their color scheme too much, personally.
That's awful. They always have awful.
But what are those lines meant to be? They're like barcodes.
I don't know barcodes. Maybe it's piano.
Smudged barcode.
I don't know. It's terrible.
Do you get like a special prize if you buy the shirt?
You scan it on your phone. Yeah, exactly. Oh, okay. And this is a change.
Yeah.
I'm a big traditional guy. Oh, this is all right. I didn't look at. This is, oh my God, look at the X. Now they got 1, 2, 3, 4. We were talking.
And those stars are ridiculous. I'm sorry, but
nobody expected them to win that many.
they must. So, but the little tree of stars looks weird.
3 of those.
But that is a nice kit.
You know, it is they won 1 early, and then they won 2 before Beckham, and they won 2 after Beckham, and they won 1 or 2. They won 2 sets. So, where else? It's not easy to win that MLS. It's a crapshoot, and they've won a lot of them. It's so funny. At the end of 2023, me and you were talking, and that H.T. Stevens guy was talking. What happened to LA Galaxy? And now they're face the league again. I have to say, is this a primary or is this? I
think it's secondary.
I like this as a secondary a lot. I think this is probably the best jersey I've seen so far because it takes chances, but still kind of stays traditional at the same time and does something new.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of one
probably my favorite one.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a nice shirt.
Yeah, that's just kind of awesome. It's not awesome that they beat us in the final, but it's awesome. Oh, okay. I've been seeing this a lot more often. I expect Bayern Leverkusen to rip. Where I first started seeing this style and color scheme? Bayern bottom. Yeah, because we had that white jersey last year. We got the same one this year. Now it's getting out there because I remember when our jersey came out, it was like the talk of the glory hunters. So for 2024, even Will was like, "Yo, I gotta have that. I feel like that's what they're going for here is the gold and white." This is secondary because they're not going to go away from their stuff.
Yeah,
I don't hate it, but I feel like they're ripping my team off, so I don't like it.
I'm a sucker for white gold kits.
You like
so
white gold
it.
kits? All right.
I've never seen a white gold kit that I haven't liked. So
I think this one, I don't like it now, but I think it's going to grow on me. I've kind of gotten into the whole pink kit thing. That M's for Messi, by the way. Because it's Messi's last year on the team, unless they sign him, which I don't think they will. Well, I mean, he's kind of built a tradition over there. I mean, they're the only real pink kits that are primary in the entire football world that I'm aware of. I like the stripes. It does something different than the last two kits. I think this is my second favorite kit so far. And I hate pink. I hate it. But I don't know. Messi,
I think it's a good pink kit. Like,
yeah.
If you go pink,
that's a good kit. All right, I'll give you that. Yeah, good pink kit. Good pink kit. Minnesota. The Target thing I hate. All right, I'm gonna say I like it. I do think it's below the other two kits, but I like the thing down the middle, the ice thing, because they have that snow opener every year over there. Because their first game is next week, and you could be freezing your nuts off. There wasn't one last year. I don't think it snowed last year for the opening season, but it usually snows game one in Minnesota for sure. I know Red Bulls not last season. It was last season before they had their snow opener. But I do like it because it looks cold, and that's what Minnesota's about. Your feeling?
Yeah, I like it.
Well, I like it.
Yeah,
too.
I like it. I like it. I like how it breaks up the two colors coming together with the icy bit in the middle.
Yeah, it looks. It does look icy. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. Let's see. Inter Milan. That's Montreal. Don't hate it. Yeah, it's doing the job. A little too much of a nod to Inter Milan, but yeah, don't hate it. Nashville goes pretty traditional. I could see Hani Mukhtar looking good in that for sure. But it's not like they took any real chances over here. They just kind of slapped their logo on.
It's just the basic Adidas template in their colors, right?
But it looks good. I think they look good in the field.
It's a good color scheme, which helps.
They're fun. They're a fun team to watch for shizzle. The Revs look ridiculous. I don't know. I don't like this fact that they're taking the alternative colors out of their badges. That is pissing me off. It seems to be a theme this year. Like this year, they took the red out of the Chicago Fire. I don't like it. This looks like a bottle of toothpaste. It does. I don't think that's cool at all. But the Revs not looking cool is fine with me because they suck and they're from Boston. And let's look at Holland's New Jersey. No, it's the Smurfs, NYCFC. Don't hate it. Actually, I think it's one of the better ones. NYCFC. One of the better ones.
It's mid for me.
Takes a little mid. You don't like the designs in there?
I just think it's I don't know. It's just like a nothing design to me. It doesn't interest me at all. It's there.
Let's check out my new one. So they got sort of the army the digital camouflage. I'm glad they're going back to white for their secondary instead of like the yellow. Although the yellow jersey did grow on me for a while. I did pick up a Tolkien who, good luck in Germany, buddy. I don't. It's just it just kind of it is. This jersey represents this season of jerseys. It's just kind of, I don't need to have this. I don't need to. I'd rather have an old one. I'd rather have a Metro Stars. I mean,
it doesn't speak out to me at all.
No, I don't need. I don't
dislike it, but
goodbye yellow though. I'm okay with the yellow being gone. Although I have to admit that that yellow-looking Swede Forsberg looked very good in it with his beautiful blonde hair. Orlando City, that's a mess. It's like a science fiction movie, like The Black Hole or something like that for Disney. It's like an old science fiction movie. I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the design.
Like the colors.
It reminds me of the Revs kit, where it's like some weird design on there, but it doesn't they've not pulled it off for me.
Yeah, they couldn't sell it. This is awful. Thomas's English Muppet. Oh God, it's Phillies. It looks terrible.
I will say though,
what?
Like big bonus for Rosie, who is a big Philly fan, right?
Yes.
She didn't like the last one
Because
because it
it
had
said
Bimbo
Bimbo,
over
and
the
now it just
front.
says Thomas.
Bimbo's gone.
Bimbo's gone. You got your wish. No, yeah, I mean that's that. I wonder if that was a thing. Like, hey, we're not selling jerseys to women. Well, it says Bimbo in big letters. Well, Rosie said, he goes, I'm not wearing that. Who could
One of the
blame
best
her?
things we have written on you.
Yeah, I'm not wearing that. Can't sell any jerseys to women. Okay. They always do a good job. Yes, I like it. I decided. Not that it's jumping out at me in any way, but you have the Portland. You got this is like the shape of wood grain. Yeah, yes, they did it. Yeah, this is good. They got it.
I saw that one
right.
before this, and that was like my favorite pick out of it. I do really like that one,
Yeah,
especially because of like the whole timbers thing with the wood.
Mm.
Yeah, I just think they've pulled that off.
Yeah,
That's
they did.
cool.
You got they're they cut down trees over there. What do they call those guys? Loggers or I forget what they call them.
Lumberjacks.
Lumberjacks. Yeah, that's the whole lumberjacks. They also have a great. This team is older than MLS itself. They have traditions going back. If you ever see the school, they pick a tree out of the woods, they cut it down, they give it a celebration and what have you, and then everybody who scores a goal, or if you get a clean sheet, you get a piece of that tree, and they have a whole ceremony and they bless it and all this other stuff. Great tradition out of Portland, and what have you. What do we have here? I guess we're getting an international. Croatia's going to play in the MLS. What do we got? Real Salt Lake. I like it only because there's not enough checkered teams in the MLS as far as using checkers, and that is a much bigger tradition, especially here in Mines, where we have sort of the checkers in the jersey. Also, you think of so was it Serbia or Serbia wears checkers, don't they?
Croatia.
Sorry, Croatia. I said it right there. Yeah, so I like. Yeah, there's something really Euro about this. So I'll give it points for tradition. Oh, I like the outline in the red.
Yeah.
I don't like the designs in there. I'm not too crazy about it, but this is not terrible. But again, it doesn't really jump out at me.
It jumps out to me. I do really like that.
Oh, really?
And I do like the design on the white checkers because I have a Ceuta shirt from this season as well. It's black and white checkered. And I don't know, I'm a sucker for the checkers where one color has a sort of design on it, then the others are plain. I think that just looks really good to me. And with that, you got the white with the design, and then the darker blue color doesn't have a design on it. I think it really works for me.
Gotcha. All right. Well, it looks traditional. I'll give it that. But it's not it's not like when I saw LAFC's last year. And I saw with the pinstripes. I'm like, I have to have that. That's great. That's awesome. I'm not getting that vibe with any of these jerseys. The Quakes. Another team that's technically older than MLS, but actually was also the original team. Did they come in? Yeah, I think so. Quakes. Oh, that's interesting. The newspaper. I don't know what to think of that. All right. Oh, they have a bunch of news articles. All the way going back to the 70s, I guess, when they're in NASL. It's an old team, as far as Americans are concerned. That's very daring. Here's the thing about this. I don't know if I like it for a jersey, but just like a regular shirt, it's kind of badass. Where are you?
I can see why, it doesn't do it for me personally. I don't dislike it.
Yeah.
I don't really like it, but I could see it being, maybe it's cool for, fans of the team, right? Having the history sort of the newspapers on there might be a cool thing for them. I don't know, but as a neutral, it's another kind of mid kit for me. I like the idea, but it doesn't really interest me much as a shirt.
Okay. Let's go on to the Sounders, who usually have nice stuff. Changed their badge last year, but this is boring me to death. I like their the Sounders need a green. Is it secondary? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
secondary it's tolerable. This is another thing that looks like dad's sweater, on a weekend in the winter.
That looks more like a Christmas jumper sort of thing to me.
Well, interesting. Do you know they have some bizarre... Was this Seattle? Yeah, I think it's... No, I thought yeah, Seattle. If they win an away game, nobody gets to see this. They take the lockers of the way and they slam it and they sing Jingle Bells.
Weird.
It's been going on since like the 70s, and they all do it. You slam the lockers, you go jingle bells, jingle all the way. That's bizarre, right?
Very,
Yeah.
very bizarre.
Yeah. Very bizarre.
I like that shirt.
I like, so this is what is this their third league year in the season? Yes. Everything, but I don't like collars. I don't like button-down collars. But otherwise, it's nice. I've never been, I know that's like, I don't like those. When I see a button, I don't think it's something that's free and loose and athletic. I won't buy it because of that too. I hate collars.
Yeah,
Not my
I don't
thing.
mind a collar, but it depends. Like, it has to fit the shirt for me personally. I don't think it fits that for me. That's not the kind of shirt. Like Adidas shirts in general, I don't think the Adidas stripes go with the collar like that. I think it has to look like a more traditional sort of thing to have a collar and work.
Gotcha. Toronto, better than usual. I like it. Don't love it. Better than usual.
Not a fan.
Not a fan.
It looks like when they do those like paintings when you get like a sponge and dip it in the paint. That's what the design is. It's like a little sponge that they're doing like school.
Nothing that jumps out at me, but I always like Vancouver Whitecaps. This looks good. It fits the thing. It's another thing where they didn't really do too much. Maybe that's a better thing. You don't have to change it absolutely every year. Definitely a good jersey though. And that's their primary.
I think that's a solid home shirt for Vancouver.
How come we haven't seen where San Diego starts this year? No San Diego? Hold on a second. MLS, San Diego, Jersey? Oh.
So they've got a team and everything, so they must have a shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I did see the shirt actually.
You did see it? Let me take a look at it. Do I want it? Let's see. Come on, give us some San Diego. Very cool. Hold on a second. I like this. I like the colors on the side that are coming up that are different. I like it because it matches the outline, which is always going to be. I think these jerseys could get better, but I do like this like multicolor thing coming up. Not bad.
I think they should have done the Adidas stripes in the multicolor as well.
Yes, totally agree. I was just thinking
I think
the same
that's
thing.
what would have
that would have made it like I gotta have it. That's how close they came.
Yeah.
You know, but not a bad jersey by any stretch.
Yeah, it's decent.
No, not a bad jersey by any stretch. If somebody got me that. Well, maybe hold on a second. What's this right here? Is that the? Is it the home?
I think that's just a.
Oh, that's a concept.
Is that a concept? Maybe.
Yeah, it's probably a concept. Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. That's it. That's our reviews on this year's MLS jerseys. Hope you enjoyed it. Bad news for Arsenal. Kai Havertz season over during hamstring injury. Injury requires surgery to take place in the coming days. Soon after, Kai will begin his recovery program until preseason preparations for next season. Isn't this really that big a blow? Because I don't think anybody's catching Liverpool. But it sucks for Kai, and I like Kai Havertz.
I think it's a big blow in the sense that if anyone was going to catch Liverpool, it was Arsenal, and now they don't have a fit striker because Havertz injured and Jesus is out.
Yeah.
And they've just had the transfer window where they could have signed someone knowing Jesus was out, knowing that Havertz wasn't firing on all cylinders this season. And I think they're really going to feel stupid for not buying in January, for starters. You're close enough to Liverpool that you should have got improvements to try and catch them, and striker was an obvious position for them. They had a bid turned down for Ollie Watkins because when they were in the middle of selling their other striker, Arsenal decided to turn up an hour before kickoff in a game and were like, "Oh, we'll give you 60 million for Watkins," which Villa obviously said, "Go away," because we're in the middle of selling our other striker and we play in a minute. And so, yeah, I think this just really compounds that, where it's like, Havertz wasn't playing amazing as it was, but at least he's a striker, right? And now that he's injured, they're going to have to look elsewhere. Like Raheem Sterling played the other day, didn't look too hot. They're talking about putting Mikel Merino, a midfielder, up front.
Oh, really?
Won and scored 2 goals the other day, so maybe it'll work. But the fact they're having to turn to midfielders when they're in a legitimate title race just, I think, really
Are they in a
showed.
legitimate title race?
I think so. They're not that far behind, especially with Everton taking points off of Liverpool.
That's true.
I think it's only like 7 points or something like that.
Yeah.
That like we've seen City catch teams on double that before, so I think
What
there's still a
happened?
legitimate possibility that they could have caught them. But to lose your striker and not have bought anyone knowing this was a possibility just makes Arsenal's owners look a bit stupid, if you ask me.
Switching to Merseyside Derby, what happened at the end of that? There was some kind of brawl and a couple red cards given out and suspensions. Are we missing something in or Liverpool?
Oh, I think that was just standard Merseyside 98th minute equaliser passion.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't
So it
think it
wasn't
was like
anything.
any.
Yeah. All right. So
I
it's
think
not.
it was just, there's a lot of pressure there because it was the last Merseyside derby at Goodison because Everton are moving stadiums.
Mm,
So it's the last game in Everton Stadium against their big rivals. They got like a last second
yeah.
equaliser. It was just emotions were high sort of thing.
Oh, okay. So well, it's good because that rivalry hasn't been what it was in recent years. So I'm glad they got something. And they got a big win against Liverpool last year as well. MLS season starts this Saturday. It kicks off, quite literally, as they say, and we've talked about it before. We have San Diego. What do they call them? San Diego FC. Another thing to point out is you have to qualify for Leagues Cup this year. And because I think the Mexican teams legitimately want an equal amount of MLS teams versus an equal amount of Mexican teams, which seems reasonable to me. So you're going to have to qualify. I think, how do you Leagues Cup 2025 qualifiers? I think it's a little different this year. I really like Leagues Cup. I'm a huge fan of it. It's a great summer tournament, although it's probably going to be overshadowed by if they have it, the World Cup, Newark, Mexico City. Leagues Cup's schedule. Let's see. I think I'll have to probably get back to you on the inside of all this. Maybe I'll make a video on it or something like that. But from what I understand, you have to qualify now. I don't want to give out any misinformation out there. But yeah, I think it's fair. They want an equal amount of teams for both the Mexican and not just all MLS and all of the things. So yeah, you're gonna have to make it if you want to play with the big boys in the Mexican League. So far, unless you count the first season of Leagues Cups, the Americans won all. American clubs won all of them, and that gap between what used to be the Mexican Premier League and MLS and now Liga MX is closing. I wouldn't say that any club in MLS is far and away better than America in Mexico, but that gap is closing. There's no doubt about it, and maybe this could be a North American thing going forward. Definitely, Messi helped it out in 2023 with getting that thing noticed. This is not just me. That there's actually American stuff going on in football. The USL have announced their plans and said it would rival MLS, and just ignore that from ESPN. In 2027, they're going to a European style system. I think during the year too. So they'll be starting in late summer, like they do here in Europe. With promotion relegation, they're going to have a Premier League and a second league and a third league, and it looks like promotion relegation. And I don't know how that's going to rival the team with the league with much financial things. I don't know if it's a bad thing or a good thing. I think it's one of these things like nobody's making any money anyway, so they can afford it. I don't think that's ever going to happen with a franchise, because remember, MLS, they're franchises, not clubs. It's the only thing they thought they could get it off. But I mean, I don't know. Is this really going to make an impact? I know a lot of American soccer fans watch it, but are they going to watch a lesser product than MLS because they're doing promotion and relegation of the league? I don't see that happening. Let me full disclosure here. I like leagues that have things that are different in each league, and I don't think you have to have promotion relegation. Me personally, I like things that are different in South America than North America than Europe, than Asia. I like that personally. I like everything being a little different. I like the Belgian league. I like the goddamn Scottish split. I like the way they do things. I like that kind of stuff. I like each league being unique. I don't think everything's got to be like the Prem. I'm all for this. It would be interesting, but does it like I can't see it landing with an American crowd or bringing in new fans. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree in the sense that it could maybe be popular enough with current football fans
I'm
in
sorry.
America,
Yeah,
but new fans, I don't think it's going to
I
really.
think
I don't think it pulls in new fans, right? The way we've been seeing it grow in the US is like these bigger names coming to the MLS, right? Like Messi coming in, huge. These leagues are never going to be able to pull big names like Lionel Messi into them. And so I find it hard to see a scenario where normal Americans who aren't necessarily big football fans getting into the sport by watching this when they care more about hearing these big names come in,
sure.
which means they're going to go watch the MLS, not like some Division One USL team,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, like first of all, most Americans are watching the Bundesliga. They're watching the Prem. In
Yeah.
the East Coast, they're watching the Italian league. You know, these leagues are beating the NHL inside of the United States as far as popularity is concerned. You wouldn't know it by living there, but all you got to do is look at the money. MLS is really trying to take viewers away from Europe. That's their whole mission. I don't see how this makes a difference one way or another. Than it makes a few sort of what I'd call like sort of soccer gatekeepers. We're not good because we're not like Europe. No, we're not like Europe because we don't have the infrastructure to have promotion relegation at the highest league. That's the answer. So I'm for it. It's interesting. I'll probably pay more attention to it on my foot mob to see who's going up and down for sure. But I'm a nut job. I'm like I'm at
Yeah.
the stadium
Like
every
I'll
week. You know,
certainly
yeah,
pay attention to
yeah,
it, right? But like I say, I think for existing football fans, it could
uh,
be more interesting. Like me and you, we'll check it out
for sure.
as existing football fans, but to attract more new viewers or whatever to then be able to rival the MLS, I don't think it can do that personally. I don't think they'll have the name recognition
For
to
sure.
pull people to come watch it who aren't already fans. Like I say, for people who like football, this could be an interesting thing that we'll check out. But as far as growing the game, catching up to the MLS in popularity, I don't see it happening.
Sure. Yeah. Let's go. Like people like me, I want to see where it goes. But as far as rivaling the MLS, it's ridiculous. It's probably just it's Trump talk. You know, just I'm buying Greenland. I'm buying. I'm buying Canada. That's all it is. And maybe that's. I'm not saying that's like a bad thing. Maybe you set your goals like so high that you hit farther than you were really meant to in the begin with. If they're doing that, yeah, that's sure. But yeah, we'll say. I mean, there's semi-pros down there. I mean, there's Messi's in MLS. I mean, like, and he's still good, and he could still play in Europe. You know, no problem. He could start on a Champions League team, no problem. Also in MLS, this is a big story. This is something. This is one of the reasons I got an iPad. To be honest with you, because MLS they won't have an Android, so we're getting on Android. And by the way, I have to, and I think he has to agree. And I think they do it for traditional reasons. MLS, broadcasting wise, it exceeds every league in Europe, including the Prem, which is impossible for me to understand, considering the Prem is the richest league on the planet, right? But MLS, as far as the look and feel and the drones and sort of the American broadcast style, the cameras always seem to be a little bit ahead in the States as far as quality are concerned. It's if you're going to get your money's worth, and now you can get it on Android, which I'm super happy about because I wouldn't mind watching on my phone instead of because now if you have Android, like if I have my iPad, I can watch it, no problem. But I watch it like the quality isn't as good if I watch it on my Android phone because I have to go to the website and then full screen it from there. The app makes it look so much better. So this is like kind of huge. Big win for MLS fans. So yeah, get your Apple TV app on Android and watch away. It's only about $100 the entire season. There's extra shows. There's all sorts of stuff going on. Leagues Cup, the whole nine. I'm not sponsored. I just enjoy it. We're called Glory Hunters, but we like you root for a fifth division team, and I work for MLS and third. But I think it's great if you're an MLS, and we start this Saturday, and I'm super excited. And that's it. I think that's good. Now I'm going to teach you how to clip. That's That's the big plan. Are you excited? I'm going. I actually, there is something I'm going to do. We're going to try. We're going to try to start putting more content out. And tomorrow, we'll be doing a Celtic Bayern, which I'll be super, super duper happy about. That Messi jersey turns into a Celtic jersey, and I'm going to definitely be pulling for them. They're only down by 1 goal, and they've got in the second leg 2-1. And yeah, I'm excited. Are you excited about Celtics' pending victory?
Maybe in the future,
Yeah.
sure. But, that's certainly not what we'll be watching tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll be watching an Iron Masterclass, I'd assume.
No, I don't know. I think they can catch them off their feet. There were times where they looked pretty good, and they did hold them. They did play up to Bayern's level. I don't know if they could do that. I don't know if they could do that in Munich. But if they, I think if they play within a goal or somehow get them into extra time, I think it's a victory for Celtic. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like people wouldn't have expected them to have much of a chance going into the tie. So if they can even come close to winning it, then that's a good showing for Celtic.
Their Champions League regular season, for lack of a better word, I think they did quite well, and I think the new system kind of helps them out.
They overachieved.
They overachieved, yeah. So that's all we got for you today on Glory Hunters. We don't know if we're going to have a schedule, but check it out and check the clips from the stuff throughout the week, and hopefully we'll get this channel off the ground once and for all real soon. Take care. Good night. Peace. See you later. Hentai Alive used the word bollocks. I don't think Americans should be allowed to say that. I'm sorry.